Hey, this is Seth with Electrek, and today we're looking at the Genesis GV60. All right, so hopping in here, I left the car on and I left, so it was mad at me. So you get in, you push the thing, and then this thing happens. But if you're just wanting to start and go, it's kind of annoying to have that happen. Okay, hit drive, and we're off. So, car is really smooth. It's hard to compare with the EV6 and the Ioniq 5 because, I don't have them here, but man, this is a smooth car. So it drives really nicely. It's one of those cars where you think you're going 60 and you're going 80 kind of thing. So, on the theme of too many buttons, like the steering wheel's got like a lot of stuff going on. One thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is I like to do one pedal driving by default, but every time I have to kind of do that with these paddles that are behind the steering wheel. It would be nice to just have that be the default, but it's called iPedal in Genesis parlance. I guess that's across Hyundai brands parlance, but that would be nice if it could just be the default, and then for my driver profile. But that's one other thing to consider here. You actually get a fingerprint scan, and you can start this car without even having an app or the keys if you set up your fingerprint to a profile. I guess that's great if you don't, if you forgot your phone and you don't have the key on you and all the other things didn't work. It also has a camera in the B pillar right here, back there, that can recognize your face to open the door if you don't have your key fob. So kind of three different methods: app, like face and fingerprint recognition, and then the biometrics, which is cool. It kind of feels like the biometrics should be here, and I thought that was the biometric at first, but it turns out that's kind of a navigation tool. So that's like your fifth navigation tool, or fifth way of navigating on the screen. Display, same as the EV6 and Ioniq 5, two displays next to each other. Pretty good stuff. One of the things I like is the on-turn signal camera. Tesla's got something similar to that, but this is a little bit better integrated in my opinion. Instead of being on the center console, it's right in your dash. All right, hopefully nobody following me here, so I can do a 0 to 60. And that I should bring up the boost button. So this is uphill, so we're gonna take that into consideration, and then I'll try to get on a straightaway and we'll accelerate. So this is the performance version, and it's really fast. So here we go, and I'm gonna hit the boost button. You ready? 0, here we go. Little skid on the wheels, and we're at 60. So pretty quick. And I don't know, I think it's every bit of speed you would probably need. I think the Kia EV6 GT version is going to be announced in December, and that's even quicker, I believe. 3 seconds 0 to 60. So you're getting right up there with like the fastest Teslas, and like frankly it's a little bit painful. Something I don't like I have to say, like, I don't want this boost button here. Like, I want the boost in the accelerator, because like in the times where I need boost, like I'm passing a cement truck, or I need to pull out really quick, I don't want to look down here and have to like find the boost button. Like, it's not hard to find, and if my right hand's on the wheel, it's pretty easy. But like, it seems like more like a parlor trick, and if I can't get all the acceleration out of the pedal, then we got to do some talking. So the rest of the thing, again, like I'm driving right now, 55 speed limit. It's like, it feels like I'm like going 30 or whatever. It's just super smooth, and very quiet too. They did a really good job with the sound on this. It's a windy day out here. There's cars driving by. Can't hear anything really. So yeah, the navigation is good. It's not nearly as good as CarPlay or Android, or sorry, Apple. Apple Maps is all right, but it's not nearly as good as Google Maps, and that's kind of, you know, the standard, I guess. So another thing I like, just generally speaking, in cars is the heads-up display. I don't know if you can see that with this picture, but you've got the speed, you've got, you know, where there's warnings, like it'll warn you if there's a car in your blind spot, which is nice. It's got the speed limit, and then it's got like any, like, you know, curves, school, any kind of signs that are up in the area. So all that stuff is great, and you know, super helpful. I think, you know, I think a heads-up display is something that all cars should have. It's not super hard to do. So, and it's, you know, like it's additive. There's no downside to having, you know, the speed limit right in front of you, or what speed you're going. Especially in a car like this, for somebody new driving that isn't quite used to like what speed you're actually driving at. So here's another example of kind of over designing. Like how often do you adjust your rear view windows? Like, it would be good to have something on a, you know, per time basis, but this is all for the rear view mirror, and then you can fold it in while you're driving for some reason, and fold it out, and then obviously you can go up and down. I have to say, like, kind of feels like something that should be on the screen display. In this particular instance, I like what Tesla and some others do with, you know, having the rear view mirror stuff on the display. As for seat comfort, these seats are pretty plush. Big fan of the comfort in this one. It's not super big, but it's also not small, tiny. Like, you know, one of the criticisms of the Chevy Bolt is that it's pretty tiny inside, or not really tiny, but like a little bit. You're a little bit closer to your passenger than maybe sometimes is comfortable. So I mentioned the iGen regen here. It's pretty easy to do one pedal driving if you think ahead a little bit. You know, if I would put the regen somewhere close to in iGen, maybe slightly stronger than the Tesla, but not as strong as a Chevy Bolt. And I don't know if there's like a G-force rating on regen. I guess it depends on how full your battery is and how fast you're going, etc. But I would say this is pretty easy to one pedal drive. You probably in normal usage will never use the brakes except, you know, in stopping at stop signs or at home. Again, the driving performance on here is super nice. It's very smooth. So to wrap it up, I love my week with the GV60. The downsides were the range, which I was seeing like 230 miles, even fully charged. You know, with the all-wheel drive and the performance, it's not quite as much as the 300 miles we were seeing with the other GMP platform vehicles like the Kia EV6 or the Ioniq 5 from Hyundai. Same platform, just a little bit more performance version. You would think there would be some pretty good mileage because the the GV60 looks quite aerodynamic. It's got that very smooth, sloping background, but you know, the performance, I guess, in the wheels and the, you know, the certain not very aerodynamic components of it that probably brought the range down a little bit. As for the interior, you know, like I said, not a huge fan of the crystal ball thing flipping over. Like, it's cool trinket to show somebody one time, and then you're kind of like, why do I have to put up with this every time I want to turn on my car? I love the stuff like the fingerprint reader, the facial recognition on the B-pillar. You don't need to have anything to get into this car and start it except for your fingerprint in your face. Biometrics are great, but you know, I think overall there's just a little bit too many trinkety, tricky things that in this car that you know, just didn't really do it for me. But what would have done it for me was, like I said, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So overall, love the speed of the GV60. Love the acceleration. I didn't like that you have to push the boost button. It's not like Knight Rider or whatever. Again, trinket. I had to, you know, like, you're getting out of the way of the semi that's merging. you don't want to have to reach down and find the button. You just want it to be on the accelerator pedal. Not sure, it's just a decision-making process at this organization. So overall, love the car. It drives really smoothly, super fast, lots of, great stuff. Interior, exterior looks amazing. Couple little flaws, but overall, like, can recommend this highly to anybody if you can find it. I know they're very hard to find. Anyway, that's the Genesis GV60. This is Seth from Electrek. Subscribe, notification, and do all that stuff. And we'll see you next time.